Good afternoon. Welcome to our Go-eCommerce Pocket Talk, and we are into series 13. Last week, we launched our first Pocket Talk with FedEx on exporting to Australia. So today, we have NextechAR, a Singapore-based company. We have Yao Boon and Jeong to be sharing a new trend that will increase conversion on your platform, and it is an augmented reality. Augmented reality is not for everyone. Therefore, as technology evolve, then it will be suitable for other categories of industry too. So today, we are blessed to have all of you here today to listen to a presentation and sharing by Yao Boon, and also a little bit of demo, a short brief demo about how you can take a 2D image to make it into an augmented reality, so that it gives a very good experience for the customer to visualize. Of course, we can't feel, we can't smell, but more to visualize how the product would look like if it's already in front of you. Okay, so Yao Boon, when you're ready, do share your screen, and the floor is yours. Take it away, Yao Boon.
It is really an honor to be invited again. I was speaking to some of the e-commerce enabler last week, and now to be invited to speak to the e-commerce larger community in Malaysia is a real honor for me. My name is Yao Boon. I'm based in Singapore, as mentioned by Caroline. As a technology executive and consultant, I actually wear many hats, right? Today, I'll be sharing the future of experiential e-commerce as the president of NextechAR Solution Private Limited. And of course, this is a very interesting series for me. I want to learn more as well with MDEC's future series. Let me just start by taking all of us back in time, or perhaps back to the future, like what I saw earlier with the arcade. For those Star Wars fans out there, we all know that in 1977, George Lucas introduced to the whole world one of the earliest augmented reality concepts when Princess Leia was beamed from R2-D2 as a hologram and asked Obi-Wan Kenobi for help. And for those that remember the scene, please type R2-D2 in the chat box and share your thoughts as well. All right, for those younger ones, maybe you don't remember the particular scene, but you have seen the remake of it. Please share your thoughts when you saw for the first time this whole AR hologram that was being introduced by George Lucas. How's that possible moment was actually etched in stone in some of us as the future to come. At least for me and many of my friends, augmented reality was, or AR for short, has actually come a long way from a science fiction concept to a science-based reality today. Until recently, the cost of creating AR were still substantial, but recently things have changed, and AR is growing rapidly with mobile technological advancement and new tools. Personally, my first encounter with AR was about 10 years ago, and it was when a creative agency proposed AR on a stage for an event opening in Beijing that I was managing in front of about 20,000 business attendees. However, we did not proceed with the project or the AR proposal because the projected resolution back then wasn't sufficient to make AR real enough. So my next encounter was 5 years ago when Pokemon Go took the world by storm. All right, I'm sure a lot of us have experienced that craze wherever we went, and that it created the mystery of just having a Pikachu and friends in your house, in the parks, train stations, inside a train, and outside your favorite restaurants. I certainly remember those walks with my back then 10-year-old son going around the estate to catch Pokemon. I think back then, by combining AR and GPS on a mobile device, a pervasive, immersive experience was created, right? And something that was new and innovative was born. For those who remember that craze, please also type on the chat Pokemon and just share your experience, what it was like, and then we can talk about it later during the Q&A. As I dig deeper into AR recently, to my amazement, all right, AR was actually, the first AR experience was actually created in 1968. all right, by this scientist called Ivan Sutherland with his bunch of students. They designed something of an AR head-mounted display system in Harvard, and that was in 1968. You can see from the picture, right? It was pretty cool, 1968. It was mind-blowing actually that AR technology is older than modern PC that we've been using for the last 30 years, right? Or 30, 40 years. It was not known as AR back then, and only in 1990, a Boeing researcher from America, Thomas Cadell, the name, he first coined the term augmented reality on his project. And then the real first properly functioning AR system was created by Dr. Louis Rosenberg in 92 for the US Air Force to improve the human productivity in the workspace, basically learning how to fly the aircraft using AR system. And then in 2 years later, all right, Julie Martin created something called dancing in the cyberspace, where AR was actually used in a art production for performers to dance with virtually created objects on the physical stage, right? And that was quite similar to what was proposed to me 10 years ago, except that, you know, for me, it was a big event for business attendees. I couldn't afford anything that's of not sufficient resolution. As we fast forward in the next 20 years, we saw the adoption of AR in sports, training, media, and before we saw Google and Microsoft creating Google Glass and HoloLens about 5 years ago. A few months back, a Bloomberg article said, forget Pokemon Go, all right, augmented reality is growing up. And the title of the article was actually, this time, augmented reality really could be the next big thing. All right, now, despite the early endeavors and the launch of companies like Google and Microsoft with Google Glass and HoloLens, for years, that the vision of AR technology driving the major shift in computing did not really materialize. But recently, a spate of investment and announcement maybe suggests that AR's moment may have finally arrived, especially when coupled with the advent deployment of technologies such as 5G, AI in 3D creation, and the advancement, all right, the rapid advancement in hands-free AR devices. We'll be speaking to Lenovo quite a fair bit as well. And Lenovo just recently launched the latest version of Think Reality A3 AR glasses for enterprises. In May, some months back, Snap, that owns Snapchat, unveiled their latest spectacles prototype that bought, and they bought the AR display component supplier called Wave Optics for more than $500 million, right? So the big tech are adopting it. In fact, Facebook has more than 6,000 employees working on VR, AR kind of projects. Apple is said to be developing a VR headset with AR functionality for possible release next year. And when you see Apple releasing iPad Pro and the latest iPhone to include those depth sensing LiDAR technology to enable spatial computing on mobile devices to capture those 3D spatial data, we can anticipate really a new wave of innovation application that's coming. While Pokemon Go was based on basic rudimentary AR technology with cartoon-like objects, back in 2016, AR has actually made significant advancement since, right? And real-time AR will be a part of our new economy we are in, and the future of experiential e-commerce is here. So if I may, let me start with some context with this whole shift. Yeah, we talk about a bit of a background, a bit about what the big techs are coming along and making the next big thing. I want to kind of give us some context on actually what's happening in the whole customer experience journey space, right? I think in the face of digitalization and disruption in this whole new economy, a change has actually become a new norm, and therefore the mastery of the customer journey, the complete sum of those experiences that customers go through when interacting with your company and your brand have become increasingly important to the sustained growth of businesses across the globe, right? The need for immersive user experience has been the key driver behind the explosion of the commercial use of augmented reality and the likes of such technology by market leaders across industry. Is I share with you a bit of these market leaders, how they're using it shortly. So the rise of the 5G and AI and smart glasses also really help us to harness the power of AR. I'll be sharing a bit of the latest trend and some use cases, and then I'll demonstrate how AI will accelerate the adoption of AR, and by transforming a product into an immersive experience, how we can bring it from a 3D ad to engagement to a buy. All right. So the future is really happening right now for all of us, and it's changing very, very quickly. So we need to find a way to work together with our clients to create those infinite possibilities and experiences with AR, so that our clients can really grow and in the segment they are leading and be the group leader of the future. A recent Harvard Business Review article, not really recent, it's towards the end of last year. It says that augmented reality application have been on the rise with this whole virtual try before you buy experiences, right? Which is really because of the pandemic. Okay, from previewing furnitures and products in your home with everyday brands like IKEA, in America, Home Depot is very popular, to virtually trying on luxury fashion such as Louis Vuitton, Gucci. What was a nice to have feature, AR actually quickly became an essential technology for retailers and for e-commerce for sure. So the whole COVID-19, the whole pandemic has accelerated the shift in the whole digital shopping by roughly 5 years. I don't know, we can't guess, right? But definitely accelerated much more than before. And according to a global survey by Nielsen, consumer back in end of 2019 already listed AR and VR as the top technologies that they are looking to help them in their daily lives. Now, what's with the numbers, right, that you see here? According to Shopify, which is one of the biggest e-commerce platform in the world right now, the conversion rate of products with AR content is 94% higher than those products without AR. The Harvard Business Review survey that 51% of consumers said that they are willing to use AR technology as a manner of assessing whether they want to buy a product or not. Shopify also identified some of the brands actually clearly were enabled to increase conversion rates by up to 250% because of the use of AR. I think AR has proven that it has added enormous value for consumers in the whole shopping journey. Now it's the time for us business leaders together with the brands to not only reimagine retail, but to propel the whole immersive shopping experiences into the future. And in fact, Shopify is so into AR that they bought this company called Primer, which is actually an augmented reality application that let users preview the effects of tile, wallpaper, paint changes to the homes, all right, to kind of make decisions before they buy. Actually, home is one of the most interesting places where AR is working very well. So we're going to look at just today the home and furniture e-commerce segment in greater detail because of this reference that home is actually a huge market now that's growing. AR for e-commerce essentially is able to address three critical business problems, and we're going to use home and furniture again for reference, just to give a context of why is it a critical problem solver. A US survey found that a good number of top 100 retail furniture retail e-commerce shops have only a basic e-commerce functionality. In fact, 4 in 10 do not have any quality product images, just poor quality product images. And more than 85% do not have any kind of a 360 3D view or AR for the matter. This is actually limiting their online sales because we all know as e-commerce proponent, all right, that good images and a rounded complete view or 3D view of product online is actually a critical sales process. right? So this is one of the issue that AR can address the e-commerce problem that they're facing. In Malaysia, is also, of course, a saturated market with many competitors. You know, there are actually more than 25,000 e-commerce sites in Malaysia. Home and furniture category alone is almost 2,000 of them. That's excluding those that are serving outside of Malaysia into Malaysia. So the market is actually saturated with many players, and it's actually tough to stand out in the eyes of buyers. So, and also in terms of product returns, all right, because furniture is actually quite difficult to visualize in the personal space when we shop online. It is reported that there is more than 10% product returns in terms of when you're buying furniture and you're returning it. And we know this is a very costly expense to absorb, right? In fact, clothing, though it's not as costly, but still very troublesome because of logistics, you know, warehousing back and forth. Clothing actually has 30-40% return rate. And so how can AR help? It's one of those questions is being asked. We look at a few more data points, and then after that, we will look into this whole technology that we are kind of pushing into the marketplace. There is, in terms of consumer behaviors in the furniture industry, we have found out that 72% of searches in the furniture category, and maybe in a lot of other products, come from mobile devices. Maybe they're in a train, maybe they're having lunch, maybe they're couch surfing, all right, watching TV and surfing for their home requirements. So adding mobile web-based AR will not only enhance the shopping experience, but also allow customers to visualize the products with their back camera in their own personal space when they're back home, all right, or when they're at home. According to Deloitte, 40% of those surveyed are willing to pay more if they could test the product with AR. So you increase revenue and profits. Yep. The same Deloitte survey found out that 61% prefer to shop at stores that offer AR, and 71% would actually shop more often with those offering AR. So these are very important statistics for all of us to take note of, because if you're running an e-commerce shop, these will enhance not only your profit, but your engagement and your repeated purchases, right? And this also will certainly help brand differentiate in the crowded marketplace and improve customer loyalty. And this is where NextechAR solution can work with you to really establish the new commerce, the experiential commerce that we want to discuss a bit more today. So we use AI basically to transform 2D images and product web pages into 3D models and to create AR experiences. Because of our proprietary AI technology, we're able to solve the pain point for scaling content creation at speed. In fact, our 3D AI technology can transform 2D to 3D within minutes, right? And I'm going to show you a quick demo on how we do that in terms of the whole process. Yeah. So, okay, let's have a look at this demo. All we need actually is one image in most instances. And for more complex products, maybe up to 6 images, like a dice, right? Top, 4 sides, and a bottom. Or we can use a product SKU page like this one we found on house.com. House.com is a very popular home and furniture site. Let me just begin the whole demo show for you to see. So we start by uploading the image into our platform. We click to start the segmentation process, and then we choose the type of products we want to segment. In this case, wall art, and we choose after that the material, and then we submit the segmentation. All right, the AI engine will now ingest the image and start a process of 3D model creation through several steps. All right, as you can see on the screen, there are many steps that the AI will go through. All right, but for the simplicity of, in the interest of time, I'm going to just accelerate a visual. The product actually takes less than 5 minutes to generate a 3D model. Okay, this AI engine able to give you a sense of almost an immediate 3D model creation of many file types to use, such as OBJ files, GLTF extension. It also will auto-generate a QR code and an iframe to embed into your e-commerce site in a matter of minutes, not weeks or months. And after that, we can actually export into the 3D advertisement. As you can see, I'll elaborate a bit more about the whole 3D advertisement. But essentially, the object from an image or from a website to generating the whole 3D model, all the way to exporting it into a 3D file, then exporting into 3D AR advertisement can happen in just a matter of minutes instead of weeks and months. So from here, what you just witnessed is basically leveraging image from this original house.com webpage to create an AR experience. And what we did is just embed a JavaScript on the website, and an AI machine was just able to read the image file, the description, such as size, dimensions, material, colors, to auto create this 3D model and upload a completed AR model to the site without human intervention. So AI basically has transformed and democratized the whole 3D model creation. And the mass adoption of AR is actually taking place. This disruptive technology is actually transforming e-commerce and the retail space today. So for those, you can scan and try and see how this show up in your place. Put it on the table or on the wall. And this is the image that was created. Actually, this is the 3D model that was created and exported to an AR format based on just one photograph. We have customers like Kohl's, Pier 1, Kmart, that actually adopted this technology with us. The process with this enterprise clients actually automated, where we will run through their sites regularly to understand what are the most viewed product pages, and then we use AI and analytics to kind of determine which are the best model to create. So you auto select the SKU, and then you create a 3D model and upload automatically once the created model is approved by the client. And you can also again scan and try these two images. You can see from the web page that this whole thing see in your space. What we do is they automatically update and have this icon for you to click, and then from there you can, if you're using the mobile phone, all right, you can straight away click and see how is it placed in your office or your home. Okay, I'll move on. Next, I'm going to show you how we can take a product into a 3D advertisement network easily with our end-to-end solution, right? The customer journey actually continues with enabling a better connection with brands and products. So the use of 3D models to create eye-catching ads that captures the customer's attention to activate the conversion experience is critical. All right, we are seeking to work with clients to create this 3D advertisement, then move into an AR product page, then create engagement to try and the ability to buy seamlessly. We literally talking about how we can take from a product to ad to engagement to buy. I will talk a little bit more about what's the value proposition with AR for brands, right? As mentioned earlier, AR is a great differentiator for brands. We see even luxury fashion houses like Gucci, LVMH, all right, they're using to engage their customers. Snap is working very hard to leverage this whole AR experience to help the brands to engage their users, their broad base of millions of users, right? So various references tell us that AR will help multiply the ROI on marketing for sales. Okay, I will not go into details into every stats here, but basically it shows that AR can increase brand awareness through to something what we call memory encoding. Consumers basically remember the content better when you use AR. So this is critical for your brand awareness and also brand recall. And the AR also influence the customer more through the increased engagement with the products, right? They can try, they can experience it. And having AR actually significantly also reduce what we call the bounce rate, when they will not click and then they regret coming to your site and then leave, right? They actually increase the quality of the traffic on your site. So basically, AR can drive 4 to 8x engagement rate of online advertisement. This will actually lead to an increase in the purchase intent, hence leading to higher conversions, as high as about 11 times through AR ads. There's also 25% less product returns in this instance. And then also, basically, we see that AR ad spend generate 3 times the return. I can talk more about this if any questions, but in the interest of time, I'll just move along. So basically, 3D ads drive greater awareness and improve consideration. AR experience for you to kind of able to do the virtual try before you buy approach, reduce cart and checkout abandonment. All right, the chances of them not continuing to purchase is being lowered, and this therefore lead to more conversion and generating more sales. So this in a nutshell, what we believe is a future of digital advertising, which is using AR. Now, among the tech giants I mentioned earlier, not only they have started to build the AR wearables, AR mobile devices, we saw companies like Google are also adopting this whole AR assets, being able to display on their 3D ad network. You know, this whole paradigm shift, all right, is happening among the big techs that we are aware of. And this is actually a very promising move by Google. We are the first to market to provide a speed and a scale solution for AR creation and 3D models, 3D advertisement, all right? And this is something that we are hoping to work with our clients to write on this new whole Google's provisioning on AR 3D ad display, that when you search, they actually can index your AR assets. Not only Google, we also see that companies like Snap, Facebook, and Instagram are also making our assets compatible to the platform, and therefore can extend your global reach using 3D AR advertisement. These tech giants are making their push to making their move, all right, to push this whole 3D ads into the market. And I think we really want to work with you to ride on this tailwind of next generation advertisement with a user-friendly 3D ad creation tool, which I'm going to show you shortly. We're going to launch this end of this month in October. This what we call the easy to build ad creator tool. This is facilitate the growth of this whole 3D AR ad network. All right, what you see here is an overall flow view of how this ad creator tool works. The 6 simple steps, right? You just log into your account, choose your ad size, add a background of your choice, and then add the 3D model that you already created, all right, for whatever product category you're in. Make the adjustment, fine tune it, and then you create a 3D advertisement. This tool really not only democratize the creation of a 3D ad network, but it really helped to drive the mass market adoption of AR advertisement tomorrow. What you see here is an example of how an AR ad will appear on a website, on CNN or on your Star in Malaysia, or any kind of media platform that is being used by Google to advertise, right? It basically captures your attention because it's interactive, engaging, and of course, it just makes you want to click on it and see what's going on. So in closing, let us work together to enhance your customers' shopping experience, and by turning their products into exciting 3D models and create a kind of AR experiences with our AI-powered assembly line to boost not only your buyers' confidence in online shopping, but also drive higher conversion, less returns, and together we'll transform into experiential e-commerce for the future. So with that, I thank you for having us and the team. And please stay in touch with us or myself personally via the QR code. Together with my colleague, Jeong, we'll be taking questions. And once again, thank you, MDEC and Caroline. Over back to you, Caroline.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Yao Boon, for the presentation. So I tried on my phone just now, was playing around with one of the QR codes on the furniture just now. I was trying it. So I saw 3D and I was moving around underneath, going underneath. So that was cool. So thank you so much, Yao Boon, for the presentation. Maintain this slide first. And then Rizwan, the floor is just now to take up Q&A. Okay.
Thank you, Caroline.
Hey!
Okay, guys. Thank you for staying with us. We know you're a bit fresh with regards to this AR technology. And by the way, in America, Amazon already started the AR shopping, where you can actually view what the clothing on your body before purchasing.
Mm.
So it's very compatible with the current scenario where you know some people, even though you can now go to shop, sometimes people are still afraid to stay at the shop for a very long time. So with AR technology, it allows the buyer to actually really try out whatever clothing that they want, then finally decide to buy online, or if they still want to go to shop, at least they go there to only buy. No need to browse through anymore, right? And best on home and living as well. You know, like my wife have this issue where if I want to paint something, by the time I paint a wall, then she'll be able to decide whether the color stays or not. So it gives me it avoids any hassle of me having to paint any color first by just using AR. So that's cool. So I'm still waiting for question coming in because apparently I have a very good question answerer. Where every time there's a question, it's already been answered.
But I have a question, Yao Boon.
Thank you,
Now,
jeong.lee.
I have a question for Yao Boon. Yao Boon,
Sure.
for the future of experiential e-commerce, right? And for people like in Malaysia, it may not, it is a new technology for us to as a buyer, for us to experience. Now, as a business owner, are you saying to us that experiential e-commerce, especially on AR, is only suitable for certain industries, certain category of products? What's your view?
I think e-commerce, you will have B2C e-commerce, and we also have B2B e-commerce, right? Let me address the B2C e-commerce first. In the B2C e-commerce, there are, let me also take a step, talk about industry first. AR in general will help the experience of buying virtually, for sure, all right? The AR, we also see that in terms of furniture, anything that requires to see real in where you are or on you is very applicable. So not everything is not everything would be have a need for AR in a sense, but there are things that clearly you want to see in where you are, whether it makes sense. All right, it can be a gift. It can be something you want to show your girlfriend or your wife. You know, I want to buy this. Can you check whether it fit the home? All right, I'm going to buy for you. So these are things that definitely, these are the I would say category of things that make sense. Okay, the other category of things that make sense in terms of B2B would be you, because travel is still, business travel is still pretty much restricted at the moment. So a lot of companies are unable to let their buyers come into their factories or their shops, all right, or their warehouse to make purchases by the large quantity that require the MOQs that you need. In fact, companies that are listing on Alibaba are very, very suitable to use AR because people are buying by the hundreds, you know, by the containers. So if you can't go and see the best way forward is to really see the whole thing 3D model and get a sense of it. All right. Alternatively, you can buy a sample and before you buy the rest. But for those that are really aware of the quality of the company, they want to see the latest version, latest product, just seeing the AR model will be very, very useful, right? Of course, you're buying for the first time from someone, you'll be a lot more careful. But if I say I have a latest version of a chair, or let's say a gaming chair, for example, all right, and they can see for themselves the color, the size, the whole look and feel, and especially now, what I show you was just from image to a 3D model creation. We also have the technology that will use CAD file to create polygons, all right, which is actually reading a 3D file using AI and also exporting it very quickly. In the past, you got to render the whole thing, and it's very troublesome. Right now, you can actually use AI to kind of construct it very fast with the outer shell, all right? And so that actually allow engineering companies that use engineering files, all right, to do the same as well. So if you ask me, what kind of industry will fit those that require to see in their place, or those that require to see the actual 3D model before they make the purchase because of the bulk purchase requirement?
Easy. Think of Iron Man.
Okay.
Every time Iron Man created something for prototyping, right, he will use AR to actually have the feel and the look and feel before actually start printing or
Exactly.
producing, right? So this will allow that. And I see this very convenient to personal shopper, right? If you're a personal shopper in Japan, in US, and your customer are unable to see the product itself, they can use the technology of AR to actually try out first, see what's right to you, then ask the personal shopper can actually purchase. Right. Second is window shopper. Whatever that requires a showcase, shops that are products that require you for people to use their eyesight to actually have the feel of it, you can use AR. Now,
Yeah.
the best things about the new technology is that this used to be very painful to create. Hence why AR is considered as a taboo. Because without the proper knowledge, without the proper skill, you can't really virtualize your product. But now, with existing platform like NextechAR and so on, you can actually convert your pre-existing product into AR with a switch of a button. So that's what this technology allows you to do, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
What are the subscriptions start mode like when it comes to business owner who has a website for this, Yabun? Do you know that? Or maybe Jung know that?
John can take the answer. We actually have the pricing online. We also have a special pricing here for Southeast Asia as well. We have a model whereby it's John, if you can also reply, a model whereby we are not charging for the 3D creation, but we're charging for the hosting. So it all depends on the size of the company. From a couple of hundreds or maybe 100 plus a month, all the way to a few $1,000s for big companies like Sears. They actually pay a unlimited amount of SKUs, right? And but they have a fixed price every month, and basically they don't pay for anything, just pay the fixed amount. They will have unlimited change, unlimited 3D model creation, so it suits them. For smaller companies that runs 25 SKU or 50 SKU, maybe you don't require that, and then we have a smaller version of it. But please reach out to us so that we can give you a specific code. But we have made it inexpensive compared to what it was. I think, if I'm not wrong, today to create a 3D model itself, it costs easily about maybe 100 ringgit, all right, or more. Okay, 150 ringgit for one 3D model. So we are now saying that for the kind of maybe about 300 ringgit up thereabout, okay, we can actually host it for you for 25 SKU. I think numbers need to be converted, but around that range, all right, are very affordable.
But trust me, it is affordable. Because last time even creating a website will cost you a lot of money. but apparently it is not that hard. Now with NetTech, you are able to do so with virtualizing your product. Is the technology is moving that way, you know. Now, let me go to the Q&A so that Mr. Lim can continue to answer questions.
Rizwan, if I may, just to answer the question, the pricing, right?
Yes,
I think
yes,
we
please.
have various pricing, and we understand the situation in Southeast Asian market, the e-commerce players. There are big boys, there are small play, there are bigger boys, there are big brands, there are also resellers. So we have various go-to-market pricing packages. So feel free to reach out to us, and I'm sure we can find the right package for you to make this work. You know, we do not pressure people to start big. We will customize, and we can scale your business together. I think we have an excellent dashboard that can actually measure ROI because you all have the data from previously. And by using our dashboard, you can measure how AR can influence your sales conversion as well. So feel free to reach out, and I'm sure we could do we can start small. And if you see the impact on your business, we can grow together. I think that's what we need to do.
Jeong,
I just want to, sorry.
Yeah, okay, Jeong, let me help you a little bit. Malaysian community are very frightened to ask question if there's no price tag. Because they are very afraid that if they call you and suddenly the price is out of their range.
Okay, so to answer for you, I'll give you this. For a minimal package of, let's say, as SKU of 25 SKUs, right? A monthly investment will be $150 with unlimited clicks. And it doesn't include it doesn't include the asset creation fee. So for example, if let's just say, right, you don't even have 25 SKUs, you say I want to start with 10. It's okay, start with 10. It's still 150. And remember, we don't charge you for the asset creation. That's already into the package.
So $150 is roughly around 500 Malaysia, Carol?
Yes. Yeah. And if you take the annual package, we make it 13 months. So we give you 1 month free. And you can always change your SKU. For example, you start with 25 SKU, right? Then you say, okay, 3 of them, 4 of them is not moving. Jeong, can I replace them and still be in the 25 SKU package? Yes, you can, but they will probably charge you maybe around $20 to $30 for the asset creation only, but you're still remaining in that package. So we'll try to work with you to make sure that you feel the impact of your business. So people ask me, what's the ROI? You yourself will know the best ROI because you can compare previously without AR and post AR, right? So I
actually,
actually,
just an add-on, included inside the package is also analytics of the website, which are the most viewed pages and so on and so forth, so that you can also, actually our system can automatically tell you and recommend you which SKU to use AR for, because they're the most viewed. And as you load new products, the JavaScript can also detect there's a new color, new season, and then they can upload accordingly as well. And that's something that actually, to your point, Rizwan, not only price, the other thing is the amount of work you need to get done, right? Price is one thing, but how difficult it is. We're trying to simplify the process and also make it affordable, all right, to really drive the adoption. And if we get that correctly, we'll definitely see a mass adoption together, all the small players. That's why I asked Jeong to create these small packages for smaller companies to start. So it's actually quite a low risk. Talk about ROI, if you spread, say, 500 ringgit across 25 SKU, you're talking about 20 ringgit per SKU per month. And that's not expensive at all if you're selling something that's at least 10 times the amount.
Yavun, can you project your slide, the one that you did a demo on the wall piece of art for them to try out the QR code? Can you project that for a while we ask while we go for Q&A?
The table is better.
Table I prefer the wall art that he did Which one? Not this.
This one.
Let me just go back.
And just to share also with you guys, right? We also had a client who usually sells on e-commerce marketplace. You know, so they're asking, can this work in a marketplace?
Let me try.
Yeah. So
you
it can. Yeah, it can, because the QR code can be placed in any marketplace page, and there's the ability to go 3D and activate the AR as well. So if you, for example, you have a website on your own and you also sell on, let's say, Shopee or other platforms, you can use the same assets as well. So you can, it's really an omni-channel solution.
So right now I'm trying. So Yabun, so if I were to subscribe this and I have my own website, regardless of whatever platform, because there's no need to download the app, okay? When I put the assets into a NextechAR dashboard, and the engine will create that QR code, right? That QR code. So that QR code is the one that I paste onto my Shopify listing pages as an image for a consumer to have a look, or into the description also can, right?
Yeah, I'll show you. By default, if you give us your website to put a JavaScript in, can you see down here, you see a view in your space, the button?
Where?
Below the image, view in your space. Yeah, we automatically create a button for you. So customer just click the button and then you can trigger. You don't even need QR code.
Oh, okay.
Use QR code only if you're using the desktop. Then your phone will use the QR code to trigger. If you're using the phone, it's just click it and then you'll launch.
Yeah, because right now when I scan the QR code just now, I can go around, look at the 3D. So where is the one that I can put like against a wall? Where do I see?
At the bottom, there's a view in your space. Yeah, just now when you launch, it give you an option.
Oh, okay. Let me try again. Okay. Let me try again.
Yes.
Cool.
So guys, the subscription that you're paying is for the creation of the AR plus the hosting of your product. The as in the carrier of where your AR is.
Yeah.
Correct, Mr. Liam?
Correct. The hosting is because when you trigger an AR, the AR object actually does not reside on your phone or your client's phone, right? We are hosting. It's like a player. We render the image for you. That's where we host the object. And every time you host, there's an API call. It calls onto the Azure or call on AWS, all right, to call down the object to render on your phone, all right. I also want to qualify that there are two main categories of 3D product. One are photorealistic. One, I won't call it photorealistic, but very good quality for use. Photorealistics are for very high quality, very expensive things like antique or painting a display, whereby they want every single detail to be captured. Those are more costly to create because you are using photogrammetry to go and create the whole object. By and large, most of the other things, right? Like last month, we worked with HP to launch their latest laptop, and that one we just use AI to construct it, and they're very happy with the outcome of the 3D models. Those are actually where we will recommend for most products, whereby they just want to have a look how it fits, how it looks like. But if we need high quality photogrammetry, and then we need photogrammetry kind of image capture, all right, which also have those technology, but those are a bit more costly for very special products. But by and large, I mentioned earlier that most customers will just choose the AI constructed approach or CAD to poly approach.
So guys, you don't need much. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need 3D rendering. You need your laptop. You need a very proper photo. I repeat, you need a very proper photo.
Rizwa, if I could say on that, so basically the photos that you have on your website is what we use. You don't need to take any other different photos for us.
But you need a plain background, right? Around
No, we need the photos in your website. Even with other backgrounds, we could take the product out. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, but of course,
yeah,
AI actually will read better if it's just a pure SKU product, so that it does not pick up things wrongly. Actually, it will read just that there'll be more back and forth because you go back and say, is this correct? Because the AI is reading it, and then we will QA the product, and the process is shorter. But if you have a proper product, to remove the background, then the AI don't have to kind of second guess whether the plant next to the, for example, you see the chair there, the sofa, they won't guess whether that plant is a pattern on the sofa.
Unless you're selling the whole thing with the plant, with everything, with the carpet.
So if you look at the picture that Yao mentioned, so the first two photos is what we probably will take. The one without the plant, the one without the, I guess, the jacket on it.
Yeah.
So like those are the photos that we need, and then we can easily convert. So some people are worried, do I have to prepare so much asset for you to create this 3D and the AR? Actually, no. As long as your website has dimensions and a few photos that are of decent quality, we can start with a URL.
Yeah. In fact, you don't even have to send us images. We will go to your website and just crawl.
Yep.
I have this very nice question that I want to address. It's already been answered by jeong.lee. AR is a visual experience. How can AR be used for product that is touch and feel centric? Pray. Pray for the future.
Yeah, it's like someone asked me before, can AR add smell, to it, right? Okay.
We have been fooled once, but not again. Google used to publish Google Smell. I don't know whether you guys know or not.
April Fool is an April Fool thing.
It's an April Fool thing. But
that day will come.
That day will come.
The day will come. All right.
I'm hoping for that day.
Whatever Tony Stark demonstrate in Iron Man, the day will come. All right. Yeah. Just like when we saw Star Wars 40 years ago. All right. The day has already arrived. Holograms. You see those Minority Report, Tom Cruise, whereby he did all those stuff. It's really available, right?
Sure.
So the day will come whereby you can smell, you can touch, you can feel. All right. How to do it? I'm not the technical expert to advise you, but I think the day will come. But for now, I think that more importantly is that for products that need to be viewed for approval, in a sense, both purchase or procurement, those are very useful. If you need to feel it, I will still suggest samples. All right.
Yeah.
That's still the best.
Unless the technology comes out with a way that you can touch.
Yeah. No, let me just give you an illustration, right? This sofa that you see on the right-hand side, yep. You can see the color, you can see the design, you can experience it in your house. You cannot feel the texture. Now, instead of asking for a whole furniture to send a sample, now you can actually send a fabric.
Yeah.
Which is much cheaper, much faster. You say, oh, fabric is nice, right? Then all is good. Right. So now your entire whole process of selling will simplify, because now your cost, right now, I guarantee you the cost of sending a sample to your customer way more expensive than create AR products. But if you send a piece of fabric and plus maybe the wood don't even need, just specify the wood type, right? Then is people know how it's like.
Let me share something funny with this web AR thing, because I think many people, if you look at it right, they will try to place a sofa in their living room. Great, but the problem sometimes arises that the sofa doesn't fit in the door to get to the living room. So this is where it comes in handy as well, because with our web AR product, the dimensions are given. So the 100% is the actual dimension. So if you're gonna order, you could actually activate it in front of your door to see if it fits or not. Because that's the real problem. I think this is the real problem. Some people think, oh, it looks great in my living room, I'll order it. But then when it comes, it doesn't fit in either in the small door or it doesn't fit in the walkway. And this is a real problem. But with our web AR solution, this could all be addressed, because you can activate it and put it 100%. That's the actual dimension that's written in your website. So we could also help, minimize returns by activating this function as well.
So when you purchase something, always measure the door size. Always measure the lid size.
Yeah. Or no, don't need to measure. Just activate. Just make sure your product has our web AR activated in the door and put it at 100%. Yeah. If it doesn't fit, then So then your customer will be happy.
Doing this at the lift might not be as bad as like that.
No. And this one, remember this, right? Once they take it out of the box and it doesn't fit, you have to return it, right? And it's a cost to the merchant. And then you can't sell anymore because you already unboxed it. There could be something. So that what becomes a highly discounted price. This is actually a lot of cost saving. And I think Yalba mentioned earlier, this was one of the real issue of Sears, of Target. They had this real issue. It fits in the living room. It just can't get through the door. so
That's a real issue, guys. That's a real issue. Okay. One more question. You mentioned about your system giving away analytics as well, right? So what kind of data is captured?
Page view, product view, number of actually the AR triggered. We also know. Basically, you give analytics of your traffic real time. You can see which page, if you launch a product, for example, whether how many views are being collected over a period of whatever 24 hours, and then you can compare which are more viewed. Essentially, it's just a lot of page view information and the engagement information, right? So it helps you to kind of decide which product is the most popular, and then therefore you can actually use the information to make the better decisions.
Will it tell you the time frame as well?
Time frame.
When it was assessed.
I think we do a so-called a time bound instead of time frame. All right, within this period, which is the most view. Not so much of which minute, like 16:59. There's the most view. There's 5 views. We provide basically based on time bound, time period, period based information. But what we use this information for on our site is that if you want us to automate it, we will automate the process by saying if it's the most viewed and it's that there's no AR product and the object is suitable for AR, we'll create AR for you automatically. All right, so that you don't even have to worry about whether or not my latest product or my most popular product is not leveraging the AR technology.
Yeah, Boon, has anyone subscribed in your clientele, right? Has anyone from the jewelry industry subscribed to this, so that if I were to imagine that it's on my necklace and all that, I'm just curious.
Our technology is okay. We are talking to a diamond a jewelry company at the moment, but our technology is not a try-on technology.
I see.
Right? Yeah, it's not a try-on. So it's good to see, but you cannot like put a ring inside there or you put a necklace on top of it because it was not designed for that purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. So
for future?
Our future, we can't tell, maybe. But the thing is that when you look at cosmetics, it's easier because cosmetic actually just paint over your face, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whereas a 3D object is a bit different. So in Snap, they are doing this on their app whereby you can put cosmetic on, okay, as filters, right? So they're using coloring. There's no 3D object. It's still AR, but there's no 3D object.
So
okay?
the diamond jeweler, so they will only subscribe to you because we would like to browse the product in 3D and take a look at angle and of the design of the jewelry, right?
Yeah.
I think you can put it on yourself. It's just that you can't let it automatically find your neck. You need to.
No, I can get my mom to stand there. Can I get my mom to stand there? Cannot, right?
Yeah, actually, because you are trying to see yourself, right? So it's a bit difficult to turn your camera around to.
Yeah, correct.
You need a back camera to trigger, all right, the whole experience. So on the ring, we can have it rotating. I can show you samples of the ring. Actually, the ring that we created looks better than the photograph image because of AI. AI kind of able to make it brighter.
We can't use front camera.
Because I was trying to see that. Okay, I'm going to put my finger like that, but the camera is here, and I'm going to show. So there's no chance of doing that on the jewelry, right?
Because the ring don't rotate according to angle. It's sitting like this at the moment. So you can put it on your hand, So it's not, like I said, technology is still evolving. Time will allow us to kind of latch on like a phone onto your hand. Today we can do glasses on the face.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You can actually just swipe glasses easy because face identification is a much is the technology has been available for much longer time for face identification. So whereas identifying hands and neck and feet is not so straightforward. Yep. Whereas face is very clear. This eyes, nose, mouth, you can mount your glasses here. So actually, you can actually shop by browsing that way as well. And happy to show you some samples for those who are interested, how we did it with a company
So
by shopping glasses.
you have an optical company that subscribed to NextechAR, is it?
Yes.
Jeong,
Yeah.
what is the URL name? Share lah.
Oh, let me try to find out. Let me try to find out.
No problem. Any more questions? No more. Oh, very good. It's
You
still
are very persistent in writing the answers. So by the time it comes
I
out,
gotta earn my keep, man.
so
My
guys,
boss is doing the presentation, so I gotta earn my keep.
so guys, you can if you own an e-commerce site, if you put your product on Shopee, on Lazada, on whatever platform, you can still subscribe to this because you're putting the QR code on the photo
Yeah.
as a replacement of a photo.
someone in the chat, someone in one of the attendees was WhatsApping me because they know my contact and they would like to reach out to Jeong as well because they own a marketplace. So I pass Jeong's number to Putri. Putri can get a demo and see how they can provide a new way of experiencing product buying from their platform to their clients. Yeah.
Just to share with you, we recently onboarded a client who are selling in one of the leading marketplaces in Hong Kong. You
What
know,
product?
so no, it's the home and living, and they actually have figured out how to put the QR code within that marketplace on their merchant page. Yeah, so that means that it can work in other without having the backend integration and all this.
Yes.
It's quite easy. That's why
actually,
correct.
Actually, I just want to share with you about the QR code. Actually, what you see on the website, on a desktop or on a mobile, you'll see actually, let me use the highlighter.
Senior space, that thing.
Oh, am I still sharing the screen?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Oh, laser pointer, okay. Oh, can you see my laser pointer?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so on all the website, whether mobile or on desktop, you see this thing, see in your space.
Yep.
This one is embedded automatically on your website as long as you give us permission to, as long as you plug in the JavaScript, right? This one, right?
Yeah.
If you click this on a mobile phone, you trigger the AR immediately on the phone without having to use QR code. If you click this on desktop, it will give you the QR code to trigger. So I'm putting this just for all of us here to trigger, but actually, if you're on the website, if you click view in your space in your desktop, you automatically create the QR code for you to trigger. You don't have to put a QR code separately.
Yep.
Rizwan, Rizwan?
Yeah.
On the chat.
Yeah, just to add to what Yalbuna said, we have clients who use a Shopify platform, and this JavaScript works as such, so it can trigger. So
only to Shopify, Jeong?
Oh no, mostly all e-commerce platforms, whether Shopline and all that. I think, of course, Malaysia's Easy Store and all that will definitely try to work with them. But I don't think putting the JavaScript tag is not a big issue.
Okay.
What I meant on the QR code was mostly on the marketplaces because they're more closed, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Because you're given very limited
Correct.
options.
Unless you own a marketplace, then of course we can do wonders.
Yeah.
If you're working with Shopee, with Lazada, it's a bit more troublesome because they have a lot more control. Then using a QR code is actually a way to do it.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. The next question, our speaker might not be that well versed with what is happening at the homestay business. So maybe me and Karen can cover this. They're asking whether this is suitable for homestay business. Unless you're selling homestay, you're selling product at your homestay, then I don't see why not, right?
We have actually something called the AR portal. Not this particular solution. It's actually a trigger whereby you can actually bring your entire homestay environment into the into where you are.
Is it by NextechAR as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
It's basically you just need to capture a 360 video or image,
Yep.
and then you load it on the portal, and then
Yep.
wherever you are, you just plant the portal in front of your house. You just walk through, and then you can see everything.
That's
Mm,
right.
Use it yourself, the
Yeah.
depth and all those things. You can see the ceiling, you can
good.
see the floor, right?
Okay.
So it's more
That's the Sky
experiential.
Trek.
So homestay also can. Please reach out to us. We're happy to show you a separate demo.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not
Super.
really e-commerce, that's why we didn't show it today.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
solution name is NextechAR also, Jun. But Jun, get hold of Jung. Scroll up to the chat. Jung has already got his email there.
What is the solution name?
AR Portal. I just
AR
shared. It's
portal.
called AR Portal.
AR portal.
AR
Thank
portal,
you.
yeah.
Thank you, Jung. You're very efficient like in answering, lah, Jung.
That's why.
Super efficient.
I'm a good
Yeah.
secretary.
We try to be efficient in NextTech so that we can save everybody
good.
time and
Very
be
good.
efficient.
Any other questions? If not, then we wrap up.
Oh, there's this one question that I think we should address. Tihao asked whether it is an auto read via the website or they need to upload one by one. The
So
product.
it's auto read as shared. As long as you share us the URL, we can scrape all the data from your URL. Whether if it's auto read, you don't have to give us all
We
this
just
data.
need to allow us to embed the JavaScript to go in a crawl. That's it.
Cool.
Hey, maybe one more thing I like to add, right? Because one of the new product categories we're looking at is for the F&B sector. So people who are selling food and all that, you want to display. So that's also a segment we're looking at. We're trying to build more AI intelligence in that. So if in case you're selling food or your
Hey, Jung, you're breaking up.
restaurant or cafe
Yeah, Jeong,
that
you need to
want to
upgrade
do
your
AR
Wi-Fi.
for your
Jung.
content as well.
Wait, Jung.
Jeong,
You have to repeat that. Wait,
Yeah.
Yabu, you know about that?
Wait, Jung is in Singapore, right? What are we upgrade your Wi-Fi to how much? You will be about 1,000 Mbps
No,
today.
upgrade to this Celcom.
Malaysia also never reach 1,000 Mbps, you know.
Jeong, you're breaking up just now, Jeong.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I guess what I was sharing earlier is, of course, we are very good at furnitures and home and living. We're also extending our sectors as well, our categories. So we've been looking at a lot into shoes lately, as well as F&B. So for example, if you own a restaurant, you want to make sure you want to display your food in the, not 3D, but more of the AR setting. That's also an area that we're looking into. So if you guys have such products, your restaurant and F&B, and you have an e-commerce element, especially with this pandemic where a lot of people are ordering food, this is a sector that you guys can look into, and feel free to reach out.
Yeah, and also for those companies running e-commerce site, retail site that you may not produce the product yourself, you have a principal in wherever, China or in Europe, all right, and you can always get them to reach out to me, all right, and we can create for them and you can use it, and why not, all right, because they have maybe produced in the 1,000 SKUs, it's more worth it for them, all right, and then you can get the models for free, in a sense, right? So that's what I encourage,
Jung,
we
Jung,
make money by
I'm
saving money.
distracted. Is it me or Carol is freeze in time while laughing? Just now.
I'm not freeze in time. I think
Yes, your idea. Then freeze. Okay, okay, guys. I think that's about all the time that we have, right, Carol?
Yep.
So, guys, before I finish, please be informed that this video will be shared at our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel now. Feel free declare. You can search for Fung CL. You'll find all the previous Pocket Talk by yours truly, Carol. But give her some time to actually edit the video. She'll send the slides to you via email whenever she's done lah. So There's a few channels. For your information, Pocket Talk is one of the initiative that me and Carol have to reach out to the e-commerce landscape, right? So there's a few channels where we have our communities. We have the FB groups, close FB groups. I actually share it in chat if you can go there. So we have MDEC e-commerce group. We also have a DingTalk community. Now this is the biggest growing community that we had. We have almost 5,300 at DingTalk. So you can download the apps and register using your mobile number. And we have a newsletter, guys. So this is where we give you the new and upcoming events on bi-weekly basis. So if you want to register, if you want to get the newsletter, you can subscribe at bit.ly/jan_sub, or you can go to our chat. The chat section here, I already post that message there. So, yep, Carol,
Okay.
dan my personal penaja.
Thank you. So
Back
that's
to
it,
you.
everybody, for today. Next week, we have a Pocket Talk session to talk about green ocean strategy. We know
EcoShare.
black, we know red, we know blue. Now it's green ocean strategy. So green ocean strategy. Thank you again, Yabun. Thank you, Jeong, for helping out with the Q&A.
Thank you, Abun. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
this
for
was
having
a
me.
Very efficient.
yeah
5-star for Jung.
good education for all of us. Therefore, we'll see everybody next Friday. Give me some time. I just published the last Friday event, which is the FedEx exporting to Australia, onto my YouTube already. It's already live today. It took a long time because we were busy with work. So it's live now in the YouTube channel.
Don't
Therefore,
forget to subscribe.
subscribe. So I depend on you all to subscribe so that the notification sent to you all. Thank you everybody. Thank you those who attended. The 39 of you were here today. Thank you for coming. So we hope you subscribe to our newsletter. Look at the description below for all the information and links, and how to get in touch with Jung. With this, I would like to stop the recording and see you next week. Okay, bye guys. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.